Hello, this is Terry Randolph at OmniTracs RoadNet, welcoming you to today's webinar, Mobile Solutions, More Than Driver Tracking. Before we begin, there are a few housekeeping items I'd like to review. You've joined our session in listen-only mode. Please feel free to type any questions that you may have within the WebEx chat feature. We will have time to address them following the presentation. Additionally, please note our session is being recorded and will be provided following the presentation. At this time, I'd like to welcome today's presenter, Laura Lork. Laura is a product manager here at OmniTracs RoadNet with a focus on mobile products, and she will be sharing her session with you. Laura?
Thank you very much, Terry. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be covering major mobile trends, what we're seeing in the marketplace. We'll be talking about how that can impact workforce efficiencies, customer service, having access anytime and anywhere, as well as our RoadNet mobile toolkit and the things that we can offer you. We'll wrap this up with a Q&A session, as Terry mentioned. Please use the chat feature in WebEx if you do have any questions, and we will address them to the best of our abilities. So let's get started. So do you know how many mobile workers you employ today? How many do you plan to employ this year? What about next year? Have you put some thought into that? Is that number growing? I bet it is. And do you know why? Because according to the International Data Corporation, also known as IDC, the U.S. mobile worker population is growing at a very steady rate, and that steady rate of growth will continue through 2020. It's estimated that this continual growth, where in 2015 that number was over 96 million, by 2020 it will reach over 105 million. So that's quite a growth. The mobile workers in the U.S. will account for nearly 73% of the U.S. workforce. And that same trend is also happening internationally. So how are you going to track these employees? How can you better manage these employees to make sure they're providing the right kind of customer service? What are the keys to managing these employees? Let's look at what kind of tools are available to help address these questions. Challenges. I'm guessing you all feel like this guy in the picture on a daily basis. So many things to do, but where do you start? I know I feel like this often. Mobility, whether it's in the cab or out of the cab of a truck, is a great tool to help solve many of the daily challenges that you face as a manager, and that probably some of the other managers that you have working for you face. There are also many daily challenges that drivers face. Driving sounds on the surface like a very simple process, but it is actually pretty complicated. We're asking drivers to do a lot. So what are some of those challenges that may prevent decreasing costs and increasing profits, which is, after all, one of the main points of your business and all of our businesses? A lot of the daily challenges that transportation managers face every single day is, where's my truck? What's the delivery status? Customers may be asking that. Internal employees may be asking that. Salespeople, I bet you hear from them all the time. Also, out of the cab, are drivers being updated properly with what they're supposed to be doing? Are they providing you updates of what they've completed? What about capturing proof of delivery information and even getting that proof of delivery information to your back office quickly from a billing perspective and making sure that the services and products that you are providing those customers were actually delivered? And, of course, tracking that routes completed efficiently. So, doesn't want to switch. Here we go. So by implementing mobile technologies, we're helping to offer a lot of feature-rich solutions with mobile. These tools can help improve your operational efficiencies using mobile, as well as help increasing resource utilization while providing broader visibility of all those employees that are out in the field. Remember, there's 96 million in the U.S. alone. All of these lead to better service with the ability to provide proactive customer communication. Mobile employees are not the only ones impacted by these technologies. Transportation ops managers, merchandisers, sales, and various management levels all have tools to better manage their employees and know what's going on in the field. Another stat taking us to 2020, it's estimated that there will be over 26 billion devices worldwide that are connected, whether they're smartphones, tablets, Fitbits, smartwatches, Bluetooth printers, and a whole lot more, refrigerators, over 26 billion devices in the world just in 4 short years. That's a whole lot of devices. Many of these will be used for business purposes, whether they're mobile smartphones, tablets, or Bluetooth devices. More and more devices are available on the marketplace that can really help deliver business functions for your organization. It's been nearly 9 years since the launch of the first generation iPhone. I can't believe it's been that long, but it really has. If you don't have a smartphone, you certainly know what one is, even if you may not know how to use it. But often people think of smartphones as just a bunch of apps for entertainment, looking up information, getting driver directions. But mobile business apps, such as tools that RoadNet can provide, offer much more. We support applications on Apple, Android, and Windows devices. Whether consumer-grade or ruggedized mobile phones, there is a smartphone solution at a price point that probably helps to meet your business needs. Mobile offers key day-to-day functionality inside and outside of the vehicle, so it is just much more than a smartphone. Mobile can help provide guidance to those employees on the tasks they need to complete every single day. Providing tasks such as workflow guidance, actual versus plan information. You set up this great plan and you send these drivers out and these $100,000 trucks with a large amount of valuable products on the truck. You want to know that they're executing that plan properly, and mobile can help deliver that. Also, managing that driver, where they need to go and what tasks they may need to do while they're at different customers, as well as knowing where's my driver, managing by exception, collecting signature, and completing that proof of delivery so that you can execute and even account for and bill your customers appropriately. So mobile can help feed all of this. So our mobile is also very customizable. It offers custom configuration to help best fit your needs, collecting the level of detail to run your business. On the surface, mobile may seem to offer only task-oriented functions, but it can also encourage your employees to do better. It can help reinforce the correct behaviors you want those employees to do. Behavior reinforcement has had a lot of different studies. There are studies that have shown managers who consistently tell their employees where they stand, whether it's positive or negative feedback generally improves performance over time. Regular feedback can increase productivity up to 20 to 30% if employees know what they're doing and if they're doing the right things or even the wrong things. With such statistics in mind, RoadNet has looked at how can we provide real-time feedback to those mobile employees on their performance. One of the ways that we've done this to help tackle this coaching is what we call driver feedback. Driver feedback is built right into our mobile application. This function lets your drivers know how they're performing relative to today's plan. With driver feedback, if you see that box with the +7, that means you're actually ahead of your stops for the day. So you're ahead of schedule, but you might be missing time windows potentially. This provides real-time indicator to the employee if they're on task or if they're off task. If a driver were to touch that driver feedback button, it will take them to the screen to see route time, their missed time windows, any late arrivals, how many stops they've completed, how many they have left to complete, breaks that are planned, service times spent at customers, distance they've traveled compared to what was planned, as well as the number of items they've delivered and picked up relative to what was planned for today. So there's really a lot of information on there that can help encourage the driver to know if he's performing properly. A recent Aberdeen study of transportation executives, they polled these executives, and both leaders and followers focused on historical information as well as real-time information to help drive their business, and exceptions. They use these tools to drive the day-to-day business decisions they're making and to help make adjustments to drive efficiency within their business. So let's jump in further to see how mobile can help you gather this information. But first, I bet your transportation ops managers are constantly asking themselves, dude, where's my truck? If they're not asking themselves this, there's a good chance they're constantly being asked this question or something similar by salespeople, other managers, or even customers. So how could mobile help to make your managers more efficient while not being tied down to their desks? Let's dive in to figure out this age-old question of, where's my truck? A key tool that helps managers at all levels to be leaders is Roadnet Mobile View. Managers no longer have to be tied to their desk to know where their mobile employees are during the day, or even what tasks they've already completed. Remember, you want to keep them on task and doing the right thing. Managers can now quickly know this information, whether they're on their mobile phone, a tablet, PC, or laptop. Roadnet Mobile View provides real-time updates and historical information. Mobile View includes comparison data, both real-time and historical comparisons. Some of the many points of data that comes into this real-time is a color-coded map with views of mobile employees currently. You can even see down to the actual route path of an individual route in their GPS pings. So you have a visual status of all routes, those stops, breaks that are occurring, exceptions that may have occurred, or even canceled stops. And this allows you to see information that may jump out at you as, I may need to dive into that and see what else is going on. You can even call an employee direct from our mobile app. If you're on your phone and you see that there was an issue with one of your employees and you drill down and look at that route, you could call them if their phone number provided is in our system and talk to them immediately about what issues you may have seen. So with Roadnet Mobile View, we also offer regional performance status that has an overview with color-coded indicators of where the routes are, any issues that might need to be addressed. And we also have historical information on service time by employee that can help you track your customer satisfaction. There's many studies out there that show the amount of time spent with customers can really help increase the customer satisfaction rate. So you can make sure that your employees aren't just running in, dumping off the product and leaving. You don't want them hanging around and chatting too long, but you also want your drivers to provide that good service and customers to feel like you actually care. So what are some other ways your teams can help drive customer satisfaction? We're in the age of customer satisfaction. Between Amazon, Walmart, and many of the mobile apps out there, information is constantly at our fingertips, allowing us to product compare and quickly make purchases faster than we ever have been before. Customer expectations of service and timeliness have greatly expanded and are just continuing to expand. Customers want to know when they'll receive a delivery or service. This trend only increasing, and it's increasing faster and faster. For customers to know when their deliveries will arrive requires communication. So the key is proactive communication to increasing customer satisfaction. Especially when everyone's got those little devices or not so little devices in our hands, we want to know, when are we receiving something? Roadnet has built on our unique strengths. Roadnet's built on our unique strengths of combining that plan and actual I was talking about earlier. You've made this great plan and you want to make sure those drivers are actually completing that plan. So we're building on that strength of having the plan versus actual information direct from the mobile, what's happening in real time, to offer a product called Active Alert. Active Alert is a proactive communication tool. Active Alert provides the ability to communicate through text, could be email, or even a voice, an interactive voice message. And we have a self-service web page, meaning your customers could go and look up the status of their delivery themselves. So you're able to go and check, where's my delivery, when will it arrive? And all of this with Active Alert is based on information triggered by the mobile device your drivers are using. Now customers can know when a delivery or service will occur, if that delivery is about to arrive, if it's been delayed, maybe there was a traffic jam that impacted and slowed the driver down by a half hour, or even if the delivery's been completed, maybe they're not home, it's an unattended delivery, or they're not at their business, they could know that the delivery completed. Active Alert keeps customers in the know. It can really make them feel like you care about their time because you're not giving them a 10-hour time window for delivery. You could really whittle that down to as small as you want, actually. It could be from an hour to 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever best meets your business needs. The ability to proactively answer the age-old question of where's my order based on real-time information, including updates if there is a delay. Let's say they had that traffic jam and it delays the delivery and they're out and the time window is actually changing, we could give them an update in real time. This is a real customer sweet spot. Like I said, it makes customers feel like you care about their time because they're being alerted and it's proactive. So not only does Active Alert help improve customer service to your end customers, it can help your management, sales, and customer service staff reclaim time in their day. Information time that they may typically spend on handling a where's my order call, they can focus on other tasks that are important to running your business. Active Alert can also be used as an internal tool, meaning that you can have your sales team use the self-service web portal to go look up their orders and see where they are. Instead of a salesperson getting a call from a customer and then they call your customer service staff who then may have to get the driver on the phone, you're not having to tie up 2, 3, or 4 employees to answer that one question. You could have your sales staff be able to look up this information as well. So we've had a number of customers start implementing Active Alert to also be used by their sales staff and merchandising staff. So Active Alert is communication is automated, customized, and it's based on real-time information from the field, whether it's via text, email, or a self-service web portal. It's really a great tool that helps round out this mobile experience. So bringing it back to the beginning, the number of mobile employees is steadily increasing in the U.S. and worldwide. By 2020, there'll be over 5 million mobile employees in the U.S. alone. Some global estimates put the number at well over 1 billion worldwide. That's a whole lot of people to manage, and you really need to rely on a lot of these mobile technologies to manage those people effectively. So at the end of the day, while managing all of these people, what your managers really need is to make informed decisions on their staffing, make sure that productivity and efficiency is being driven across people in your office who help support your mobile employees, as well as those mobile employees, which are usually sales, merchandisers, drivers. And you want to help increase your customer satisfaction. After all, happy customers keep your business going. And it's a great way to also, if you're offering tools like Active Alert, it can be a real selling point for your business, especially if you're dealing with more commodities, or it could be a selling point against your competitors if you have these proactive communication tools. Also, you need to be able to manage the mobile staff well. So ask yourself, are you using the right tools? Are you on the mobile path to help you meet these goals in the future and today? How can RoadNet help you? Thank you very much. We've come to the end of the presentation. If you do have any questions, let's use the chat feature.
Thanks, Laura. As she mentioned, if you do have any questions, please type them into the chat feature, and if we do not get to your question, we will be able to follow up following the presentation with your questions. And let's see, we do have one. What is needed for the implementation?
All right, so with the implementation, what we have is you would be needing to use our RoadNet MobileCast product. And with the MobileCast product, as part of that server and the back-end dispatching information, you would need to have our MobileCast application installed on an Android, iOS, or Windows phone. And this installs pretty easily over the air. So we actually, part of the deployment of those applications to one to hundreds or thousands of devices that you could implement, it's literally pushing out a message out to the phones. Someone does have to touch the link within that text message, and it will install the application right away. Then your drivers will have a secure login that they would log in, and they would be able to start running MobileCast. And it will be feeding up, pulling GPS off of the mobile phone as well.
Let's see, the next question, how does your product compare to other competitors or other GPS systems?
Well, I'm not going to speak directly about our competitors today on the phone. We can have someone from a sales executive or one of our sales team members reach out if you wanted to talk and do a little bit more comparison directly. Our mobile solution, we have had a mobile solution from RoadNet. We have changed names over time. We are now OmniTrax, RoadNet Technologies. We have had a form of MobileCast since 1997. So I will tell you, compared to a large majority, if not almost all of our competitors in the field today, we have 5 to 10 years or more experience tracking employees out in the field with a mobile device. So it is something that has become a real bread and butter to our products. RoadNet started as a company focusing on the day-to-day planning for your routes for private fleet and last mile delivery, so a lot of distribution centers. And then mobile was just a very natural flow from tracking that great plan that you've devised, but knowing if it actually executed. So it is something that we have been working on very diligently for actually now 19 years.
Great. This next question, does your system complete scheduling or track an existing schedule produced?
So I'm assuming you mean by scheduling deliveries, so anything that's like a planned service. So you've scheduled someone to be at 2 or more locations throughout a day, and we do complete that. So let's say you created a plan, whether you're servicing customers, you're delivering products, or picking up products. If you have a plan and you have a driver who needs to follow some kind of schedule or plan for that day, our dispatching system would receive that plan. We do, as I mentioned earlier, RoadNet's bread and butter is our planning tool. And that's where the majority of our customers, they are creating that schedule or plan within RoadNet, and it passes over to our dispatching system that manages our mobile, and those drivers. So I'm Lork, the driver, and I log in and I have a route or schedule that's assigned for me that day. In the morning, I'll download my latest schedule, and it will have all of the stops and places I need to go along the way today for me to follow, and it automatically guides me through, tells me where I'm going to next, I could even resort if you allow your drivers to resort or reorder, or cancel or mark something as undeliverable, or rescheduling it for later in the day. Those are all options. It's very configurable as far as what you can allow your drivers to do and not allow them to do. So hopefully that answered your question. Just one more side note on that, we do have the ability to take plans from other systems. I don't suggest it. It should come from our system, but in the chance that you do have schedules or plans that come from other systems, we can also take those in.
Okay, great, thanks. If my sales team had access to look up a delivery ETA, do they also have access to look up an entire route at one time to see what stops are on it and all of their ETAs?
Active Alert would not be the option for that. We do have the ability for, I spoke briefly about RoadNet Mobile View. RoadNet Mobile View would probably be the best place for them to go see a route or a group of routes. It would really be a group of routes. So it would require that they have login access. Active Alert was built to be for end customers, the people receiving products or services, or salespeople to be able to quickly look up specific orders or get alerts on specific orders and customers. But salespeople can be assigned specific groups of customers and use Active Alert, or they could also log into RoadNet Mobile View. So we do have options for that.
And I believe you mentioned before, what phones are supported?
We do support Android, iOS, and Windows. We don't support every single device out there in the world. There's actually over 4,000 different Android devices in the world you could buy today. And GPS is really key to the MobileCast product. We are collecting GPS from the phone, so we do test individual devices, and we test per carrier. We do have a supported website, a supported devices website, and we're constantly updating and supporting new devices. If you are a current customer or are looking to purchase RoadNet and there's a device that we don't currently support but you're interested in, if you would work with your sales rep, they can submit a device request for testing and supporting for us to do that.
Okay. I believe that's time for one more question, and it kind of follows what you were just talking about. If you do have two different systems, Android and iOS, can you still use this product?
Yes, you can. So our licensing for RoadNet Mobile is that we have what we call smartphone licensing, and this allows you to have any mixture of phones. You could have multiple types of Android phones, multiple types of iOS phones, which is Apple, or Windows phones. You could also have a mixture of those phones. Let's say you have maybe you have a few regions in your company, like 5 regions, and 3 of them use Android and 2 use iOS. You could certainly have that mixture. We don't allow, you could even have within the same region some Android, some iOS, or Windows phones. So it also allows you, with this smartphone licensing that's not specific to Android, Windows, or Apple, or iOS, it allows you to have a mixed fleet, as well as a path if you are replacing and providing new devices. Yeah, honestly, you probably all have smartphones or cell phones, and every few years you may be replacing those phones. So we do allow you, it allows a migration path so that you could have a mixture of phones. Also, we do have, from a customer, a driver perspective, and the ability to customize the application, we can have different size fonts based on the font setting within the application. Also, as far as your end customers, those receiving products, it is truly up to you if you want them to even use Active Alert. It's not something you have to give to them, but they could use the Active Alert application or web app, which you have full control over how you want that to view to the customers, and if you want them to receive text or emails or voice calls.
Okay. Well, great. Thanks, Laura. That's all the time we have for today. Again, we will send the recording following the presentation, and if there's any questions that we did not get to, we will follow up with those as well. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you. Have a great day.